were so many just little things that needed to be improved that I hadn't ever noticed were so wrong.
Heart rate through the stinking roof.
But that's not going to get me anywhere.
They're sort of horrible. They're horrible in every way. Is it helpful since there are many free workouts available on YouTube?
I'm not gonna make any progress!
Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
I have my first online personal training this morning. I have been doing personal training for the month of November with my personal trainer for the month of November. I don't even know what to expect. I'm nervous, I'm thrilled. Meet the one and only Justina Ercole. Not only a YouTube extraordinaire, but also a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, a booty kicking instructor and dancer, if I do say so myself, as well as a personal trainer and group fitness instructor. I think Justina and I had been connected for a while on Instagram before we actually connected one-on-one. And much to my surprise, on the 16th of May, I actually received an email from Justina offering for me to take a free group fitness class from her, just out of the kindness of her heart, as a way to try and give back to people who had lost their jobs during the pandemic. Talk about a kind-hearted woman. I, of course, graciously accepted her extraordinarily kind offer and fell in love with her choreography class. We continued to talk periodically through the dark months of 2020, which then leads us to the 13th of October. Just when it felt like I was in the biggest rut of all workout ruts, I received an email from Justina offering to work with one another as a part of her personal training program 3 times per week for an entire month straight. These would be 45-minute sessions with a focus on functional fitness and an emphasis on nutrition. How could I possibly say no? The deal was good as gold, signed, sealed, delivered, and here I was on my way to a beautiful personal training journey. All right, I'm so darn excited. I'm about to hop on my very first consultation call with Justina, really just to get a good idea for what to expect for this next month, what my goals are, what I want to achieve. Hi, good morning, or good afternoon to you. My proper voice, it kills me. Prior to this Zoom meeting, Justina had me fill out a very quick questionnaire that basically asked me my current workout routine, how I'm eating, what my goals are, and that pretty much dictated how our entire conversation went and how the rest of the month was going to go.
Our 3 main goals are going to be to lose some weight, solidify your nutrition and your healthy eating habits, and then increasing your cardiovascular strength.
She also explained that our training would be a progressive overload, all of the nutrition guidelines that would be included, as well as her favored style of functional training, which allows you to work as many joints of your body at the exact same time, getting more bang for your buck.
I just really am all about taking pain that people have and trying to get rid of it.
I also showed her all of the workout equipment that I had readily available to me at my home, and then we ended our conversation with a static posture and moving assessment, which told her whether I had any muscle imbalances in my body.
We're going to focus on strengthening the core, focus on your feet and your wrist pain, and I'm just going to make sure that we're complementing your daily life. So you have a lot of sitting and you have a lot of running.
After the evaluation, it was pretty much showtime. Justina, like the professional that she is, sent me over the most beautiful Google Drive folder that shared all of our exercises that we would be doing together, as well as just helpful videos that I knew I needed to incorporate into my daily life, aka my stretching, aka trying to fix my horrible wrist pain. And lest we not forget the incredible nutrition guide personalized to me. I'm not expecting to see massive changes or anything in just a month, and we talked about that as well, but I feared it was at least important to note my before. I am Dor. Considering this was our first training and I had never been properly evaluated by anybody before, it was safe to say that I had quite the few corrections.
So that was great. Your shoulders are down. Now try to open your chest up a little bit. Tap and then down. Yeah, so it's tap, open, tap the shoulder again, and then down. Yeah, tap. But just make sure that we're not twisting. Really focus on trying to keep those hips in one position. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears.
But God bless her for being so kind to me about it, as I was probably a flopping sponge this entire workout. But one of my favorite things about her to this day is that she always presented every problem with a solution.
I I had so much fun. It was just neat being coached by somebody for the first time. And I know that this is such an abnormal circumstance because I recognize how lucky I am that she even reached out to me for this collaboration, or that I even get to have a personal trainer. That's something I've always dreamed about my entire life. And the thought that I even get to have this for even a short amount of time is so surreal. So please know that that is not something that I am overlooking. I am so beyond grateful, and it truly would not be without you all. So thank you for giving me the chance.
Now, one of the things that I struggle with the most when it comes to any workout program is change. I hate doing the same exercises again and again and again. So when Justina was giving me these different guides, these different workouts for every single day, I was in hog heaven, okay? This particular workout was a full-on cardio buster from beginning to end, heart rate through the stinking roof, okay? Wasn't my absolute, top-notch performance, but boy, did I just crush it. In the effort department, effort was there. Good morning, everyone. It is the start of week 2. I wouldn't be here without you, so excited for week 2. Let's see what she's got for me. And let's hope I'm not too sore, because last week, I couldn't move.
Week 1 had its own learning curve, particularly with me and my many imperfections when it comes to horrible form.
And then toes super forward. Yep. Turn it back forward.
Ah! Oh my God.
But alas, Rome was not built in a day, and my muscle memory was going to take some tender love and care. By the end of week 2, I was feeling good, I was feeling positive, and finally like my mind and body were connecting.
2 things that I really wanted to report back to you. I just think that there's kind of like a bad stigma, at least in the fitness industry, that if you're not doing exactly what the instructor is doing, then you're bad. Then you're not as good as them. You're not as strong. You're not as capable. And I just think that is absolutely so wrong. And I think it's something that I've always known, but of course you just fall into the myths, the horrible quote unquote truths that are so commonly spread around the community that you start to believe them yourself. But having a personal trainer like Justina just actually say those words out loud to me, like, it is all right to modify this exercise. I just want you to keep moving. If that means that you're just doing something else, if that means that we just need to completely change this to make you feel strong, to make you feel good and empowered and powerful, then we're gonna do that. I think after so many years of just not believing it yourself, having somebody actually just reassure you is really comforting. And number 2, just short and sweet here, I am so freaking happy that Justina is one of those people that has introduced me to the world beyond burpees. They're sort of horrible. They're horrible in every way. I remember in the first consultation, she even said, I'm not one to just make you do a whole bunch of burpees. I'm not one to make you do all these crazy exercises, because the basics work and we can't forget about the basics.
I want to talk about nutrition really quickly because while I don't have much footage of me actually just sitting down and eating, I did think that this was something that was probably the most important part of the process for me on the back end. The goal that I had was a body recomposition, and because Justina is a nutrition coach, she was able to give me a lot of helpful information on how I could achieve that. For example, she told me to aim for a mix of whole food fats like nuts and seeds blended with whole foods like nut butters, which is not a problem for a cashew butter lover like me, in addition to different pressed oils like olive and avocado.
Nice, you're almost out. You've got 5.
Oh my God. Something else that I really wanted to focus on was breaking my late night snacking habit. And Justina kind of identified this probably as me not getting enough nutrients during the day. So really just making sure that throughout the day, I'm eating enough, I'm eating well, and the foods that I'm eating are very nutrient dense. So when nighttime happens and I'm sitting at my computer pounding away editing, I'm not just grabbing for snacks left and right because my body wasn't nourished enough throughout the day. I saw these on camera the other day. Oh my God.
We're actually gonna up the time and the reps today, okay?
As our training sessions went on, I noticed how much stronger I felt and also how much more willing my body was able to change based on Justina's corrections with my form.
Good, so I love that you're keeping, or at least it looks like it, like a little micro bend in the elbows. That looks awesome. Remember, if you need to, you drop the knees down. Good. Watch those toes. Keep them straight in front of you. There you go.
I was thinking about my shoulders and then my toes defied me.
And then slow, slow, slow. Nice.
Because her training guides followed a progressive overload, I was continually adding more reps or increasing the time I was practicing an exercise, therefore that much closer to reaching my goals.
Okay, hi, I just finished training. It's about 11:15 right now. I just showered, got ready, and I'm gonna make some coffee. I'm running out of Nespresso pods, so I'm trying to have iced coffee, and it's just, I'm sorry, I'm just not one of those iced coffee people. I can't really get on the iced coffee train. Cold brew, yes. Iced coffee, no. You feel me? I just wanted to have a little diary entry, if we will, because I felt like today was a really, really good session. It was extraordinarily hard, isn't it always? But I also feel like those are my most rewarding sessions because once I'm done with it, I feel so proud of myself. I feel so happy that I pushed myself for that extra few set of reps or whatever it was, and now I'm done for the day. Like I don't have to think about working out for like hours. And that's music to my lazy ears. It really is. Also, the personalization is just through the roof in a really good and really horrible way, because when we first met up, she asked me, what are some things that you really want to work on? And I said my push-ups. Push-ups are just something that I've never been, oh yeah, push-up queen. And pretty much because I said that, we do push-ups a lot. But even though it stinks, even though my arms hurt, my bicep hurts, my chest hurt, everything hurts, and I'm so out of breath and I just want to collapse onto the ground. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I literally reach failure. I feel so much better. I feel so much stronger than I ever probably would have if I didn't spend so much time focusing on the exercise or just trying to strengthen those muscles. Normally in my past, if I don't like an exercise, I remove it from my training. I don't train myself in those areas because I know I'm not good at them. I want to go to the gym and I want to feel good at what I'm doing, so I'm going to do the exercises that I feel good at. But that's not going to get me anywhere. Like, yes, sure, I can continue to add on more weights to my squat, but squats are only going to get you so far. If I'm not incorporating these full body movements, if I'm not doing the things that are really hard for me to do, I'm not going to make any progress.
Before I knew it, my sweet time with Justina was over in the blink of an eye. I was on my last training and sent off like a free bird into the wilderness.
I figured it would be pretty helpful if, well, not to toot my own horn, I hope it will be helpful if I just sit down and go through some frequently asked questions when it comes to personal training. I put up an Instagram story just asking you all what questions you have when it comes to personal training. What would make you say yes? What would make you say no? All of the above. Number one question, phrased in so many possible ways: is it awkward? Is it intimidating? Is it strange to be working out in front of somebody else? And the straight up answer is not with Justina. I can't speak for all personal trainers, but that was my biggest insecurity when it came to even signing up for this whole thing. I really wanted to say no because that's just so out of my element, and I know it makes no sense because I quite literally record myself working out and then post it on the internet, and I don't know how I do that. But also a lot of the time that I'm doing that, like I'm fast forwarding through it, I'm just showing you highlights or maybe lowlights of the workouts, and I'm not showing all of, you know, the awkward breaths or like the moments in between every move, which is probably the most awkward part about working out in general. I was really nervous to work with somebody, especially we were working out via Zoom, and I didn't like the idea of just putting up a webcam and having her watch me, but really feeling comfortable just came with time. I just sort of learned to get to know her. I warmed up to her. She was not judgmental in the slightest, so I never felt judged or concerned that I was doing something wrong and she was staring me down like, why are you doing it like that? She's there to help you, and I'm sure that is the same truth for all personal trainers. They want to see you succeed. Truly, seeing you succeed makes their business better. So seeing good results is something that's not only good for you, but it's good for them, it's good for their business. So why would they want to make you feel uncomfortable? Why would they want to make you not feel like you're in a place that will allow you to succeed? Probably by like the second or third session, that was out of the way, and I really was just more so focusing on catching my breath in between the difficult exercises that I didn't even have to worry about feeling awkward. Kind of along the same lines, this said, I'm just worried about being judged at the gym in general. And I think that was probably my favorite part by far of doing a virtual personal training. I think if this would have been something in an actual gym, I I wouldn't have thrived. To say the least. I think it would have been extraordinarily difficult. I already feel intimidated enough at the gym, struggling, you know, from machine to machine, but maybe that's really where a PT would be so beyond helpful, because they would come in and help you not feel uncomfortable. They would help you thrive from machine to machine, but doing it just in the comfort of my living room, knowing that if I had training at 9:30, I could wake up at 9, I could wake up at 9:15. All I had to do was throw on some clothes, brush my teeth, and walk into the living room. I literally didn't wear shoes. Is that embarrassing? Maybe. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But it was what I did because I felt so comfortable in my home. The glory, the fabulousness that is virtual training is in part because it's literally not in front of anybody else. My main concern is finding the right PT, or how do you find the right PT? So I would say the easiest way to probably find one is really just searching through Instagram hashtags. I see virtual trainers all over my feed, and maybe that's just because of the content that I share as well, but I'm always constantly seeing personal trainers, or I'm even being reached out to by personal trainers left and right. I would also say Facebook's a really popular place. I'm not really on Facebook, so I don't know as much, but that's just what I've heard. As far as finding the exact right one for you, I would say one of the most important things, at least to me, was knowing that I was going to be working with somebody that also already aligned with my values. Somebody like Justina was already just someone that was so uplifting, so holistic in her practice, if that's the right term to use. Like, she really focused on full body movements. She wasn't all about like these strange jumping movements that I've never tried or done before just because it was the new cool trendy thing to do. She was all about the basics. She was all about making sure that you're getting the most out of every single move that you do, so you're getting more work in a shorter amount of time. And she also would just cut the BS. She wasn't there for it. She was straight to the facts. She was straight to the science of it all, which is really, in my opinion, how it should be. So I knew that that was somebody that I personally was going to align with. But it's so important for you to find somebody that you feel comfortable with, not only, but also somebody that you know is in alignment with you and your morals and your values and has the same idea of how to live a healthy lifestyle. There are quite a bit of questions about expenses, and while that is probably the most important part about personal training feasibility, I don't really want to dive into it because it's probably so different across the board. Probably different if you're doing virtual versus in person, or if it's just one-on-one, maybe versus having a whole group of people in a giant program, or I don't know. I'm sure it's so different across the board, so I don't necessarily want to focus on that, but I know that that is an extremely important factor, and it's probably been the biggest thing that rings a bell in my ear every time I think maybe I should get a personal trainer. Oh wait, shoot, it's probably too much money. But I would also challenge you to try and do your research if there's a particular coach that you want to work with, because a lot of times maybe they will even work out a deal with you. A lot of times they're running sales, or maybe the prices will actually surprise you. You never know. This is a really, really good question. Is it helpful since there are many free workouts available on YouTube? Bottom line, yes. I think the biggest problem and worry that comes with free online workouts is that they're marketed and built for a large demographic. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Like, I do those workouts all the darn time. But at the end of the day, those creators are creating those workouts because it's something that works really well for them. There is a variety of workouts on the internet for a reason. Take it from me. I've tried every workout program under the sun. While maybe I saw good results in the moment, none of them were ever sustainable for me. They're fabulous workouts, but sometimes I don't always feel motivated to do a certain program every single day because I lose motivation, or it's not the workouts that I actually like doing. It feels like maybe everybody else is doing it, or it feels like the right thing to do. Sometimes I feel really down on myself when I'm not following along or going as fast or looking as good as the person I'm staring at on the screen. And then something else is that if you're not interested in the video, you're not interested in the workout, or you just don't feel like your best self that day, you can turn it off, you can pause it, you can lay on the ground, you can just walk away. And I get told that all of the time. Every single day I get asked that, how you complete a workout, a video workout from beginning to end. And I would say that's probably one of the coolest things about the virtual training is that you have an accountability partner staring at you in the camera. It's basically like you're in person with somebody else, or maybe you are doing personal training in person. You're being held accountable. You know that you're going to be pushed, and you know that you have to show up and do the work. A lot of times I'm watching a video and I'm probably not doing the moves right, I'm not doing them well, or I'm not doing them at all. But if my trainer is watching me, staring me in the eyes, and she's championing me on in my ear, it's going to make a big difference than if I'm just watching some big famous creator and hoping that I'll look like them at the end of a 2-week program. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, like I still love my online workouts, but I feel like there's something that's very invaluable about actually interacting with a human being one-on-one. Did you do nutrition in tandem with the training, and did your trainer have anything to do with food? Yes, so this was something I was extraordinarily interested in from the get-go because I'm somebody that loves guidance when it comes to nutrition. I know that's not for everybody, but I always just feel like my nutrition is the one thing I can never keep on track. I can work out 4 or 5 days a week, whatever, I can keep consistent with my routine, but when it comes to eating, it's a totally different story. So I specifically asked for this. I believe that she does this with a lot of her clients as well, and I'm sure a lot of different personal trainers will do the same, but I got basically a general breakdown of how I should be thinking about every meal, but not exactly told like you need to eat this many calories at this time of the day, blah, 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 because I didn't want that sort of restricted profile, and I still don't eat like that. I do track my calories, but I don't think about it as macros confined by every single meal. And also just general tips, like, are you making sure that you're having enough vegetables? Are you making sure that you're prioritizing these macro and micronutrients? Just things that I constantly need to be reminded of, and it was neat to have somebody who is certified in nutrition talking me through these things. Personally, this is just my experience. I'm not talking from any sort of certification here, but I think that nutrition is so invaluable, and you can work out 70 times in 1 week and it's still not as important as your nutrition. And maybe I'm so wrong on that, but that's just the way that it feels. So I think that any personal trainer that you work with, no matter if it's in person or virtually, should guide you along the way in some sort in regards to the kitchen. On days that you don't work out with a PT, do you get homework workouts to stay on track? Yes and no. We both had access to a shared folder that had pretty much a full history of every single workout, every single exercise that we did together. So at any time, I could go back and do them all over again. I could just do them on my own. I could think about what exercises I maybe wanted to improve on for next time. So I had full access to that, but I was never specifically assigned things to do outside of our personal training, mainly because we worked out together 3 times a week. So really that is probably enough on its own. But she also knew that I was doing running on my off days as well, which goes into probably a lot of my other questions, which is how personalized is personal training to begin with? And I feel like that is one of my favorite examples, is that she knew that I really wanted to prioritize running. And running was something that had been on my mind for a really long time. You all know that. It's something that I've shared very openly on my channel, and I'm striving to be the runner that I was born to be. I had told her all of these goals at the beginning that I was extraordinarily interested in achieving, or I really wanted to focus on those things for the duration of our personal training journey together. So she took all of that. She did her whole sciencey thing, you know, with her whole background and certification knowledge and whatnot. And then she produced this full program designed for me, designed based off of the goals that I wanted to achieve. And it was genuinely personalized to a T, tailored for T. And pretty much every single day that we log on to Zoom, she would ask me how I'm feeling that day. Is there a certain area that's a little bit more sore than normal? Is there something that maybe we should work on? Are you feeling tender in your wrist? Because sometimes I have really sore wrists, especially with push-ups. So every single day, even on the fly, it was personalized. Even if I told her, hey, my legs really, really hurt, I'm still sore from 4 days ago, can we do something else today? She'd be like, absolutely, I'll just remove this one little thing, we'll throw in this exercise, it feels like it's gonna be better for you today. Boom, done, personalized, The whole thing just really surprised me because I had absolutely no experience with a personal trainer before. It was something that intimidated me, even by price, and it was something that I had never thought I was ever going to do because it felt very out of my comfort zone. But I was so genuinely surprised at how pleasant the experience was, at how kind she was, at how personalized every little detail was to me. And I'd never had that much direct attention to myself ever, especially in regards to a workout. So it felt strange to think she did all of this for me. She did all of that to benefit me and my health and my fitness journey based off of what I wanted to achieve. I thought that was just it was really flattering and it was very humbling to think that somebody would spend that much time doing something for me. What is the biggest thing you did wrong that you learned from your personal trainer? Where do I even begin? There were a lot of things that I definitely needed help on, and I think that probably the biggest thing were my squats. Now, the only time that I've ever worked with certified trainers was in a group fitness class, which is probably the most standard way to work with one. But the difference between an instructor and the personal trainer is that the instructor has so many different people in the class that they're trying to focus on, and a lot of times it can be very routine and you're trying to move from one move to the next very quickly, versus a personal trainer is actually going to be like, hey, we're not going to worry about speed today. We want to make sure that you're actually doing this correctly. We're doing it right. You're getting your form correctly, so that maybe when you're on your own, yeah, sure, you can add in speed, but you want to make sure that you're starting from the bottom and doing it correctly. Because trust me, I needed to break down my squat that heavily. It's not like I was squatting like, you know, this or something, but basically I had really bad form that I had probably developed in my cheerleading days from doing so many stunts and whatnot. So my bum would basically go like this, yeah, I think, would do this weird little funky movement at the bottom that I'd never noticed before, and then at the top I would go like this whole little like tuck under thing that was just, you know, maybe not the best, like it wasn't fabulous. And there's a difference between squeezing your glutes and everything at the top of a squat versus doing whatever the heck I was doing, which was this like full, I don't even know. That's probably my biggest takeaway. My favorite thing from doing personal training was just that whole element of, wow, how many years have I been doing this wrong? How long was it before I was going to have a horrible injury? And that's not worth it to me. Like, it's just not. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I am so grateful for you all for allowing me to be in this position, to work with somebody like Justina, to do this little training month, review it all for you, and to give you my honest feedback, as I always do. Please let me know if you have more questions in the comments down below. I'm also going to leave all of Justina's information up on the screen as well as in the description box below, because I want to make sure that you have all of her incredible resources.
And I, of course, forgot to mention the most fun detail. Justina was kind enough to offer every single one of you, every single person that watches my videos, every single subscriber, a free class. That's right, an absolutely free class, no strings attached. You can use the code Taylor on Justina's website, which I will leave on the screen, to get an absolutely free class for free from me to you. Merry Twistmas. Thank you, Justina.
I think that she's absolutely phenomenal, and she's somebody that I could not recommend more. She's so professional, she's so kind, she's so uplifting, and she's just so relatable. I mean, we'd spend so much of the time just talking about life, and I feel like I just know her and her husband Kevin and her cat Zoe. Like, I know them all now, you know? I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have more questions that you think I didn't completely answer. I am an open book. Come ask me, come DM me on Instagram. I'm always sharing everything with you over there. Love you all so stinking much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.